What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and today we're going to talk about Ladies Who List Atlanta episode 4. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So the episode starts out with Kiana and Robin still sitting at the table, pretty much talking about what happened in the last episode. Okay. So basically, they're talking about the money incident that Kiana had such a real issue with, right? Where she thought that Robin wanted her to pay her $500 per listing to hold those listings for her. And throughout this conversation we find out that Kiana only wanted her to hold the listings for 4 days. So to be charged at all for any of that, if y'all are friends, I don't know what the level of the friendship was between them, but listen, I guess business is business, okay? But as we go on and they actually discuss it, Kiana has been mad with Robin for over a year now, thinking that she wanted to charge her $500 per listing when overall she was just charging her $500 flat. So Robin pretty much was like, "Yeah, baby girl, you was mad at me for a whole year for no reason, okay? Because we could have been fixed this." And everything in the nutshell with that was Robin was pretty much like, "If you had an issue with me, I would have appreciated it if you simply just talked to me about it." Because at the end of the day, if we're going to be mad at each other over something, or technically you're going to be upset with me over something, and if we really were friends, we should have just had a conversation, right? So a conversation could have clearly cleared up this whole situation. So Kiana says, "You know what? I'll take that. I didn't hear it that way. I heard $500 per listing. But if you're telling me that you meant $500 for the whole kit and caboodle, I'm going to go ahead and accept that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move on. I've been mad too damn long. Whatever." So then Robin and Kiana end up pinky promising that they will speak to each other for clarity with situations from here on out. Okay. So in the next scene, we see Tiana back at the penthouse with Michael, trying to pretty much negotiate whether he's going to sell this penthouse or not. So in this situation, if I'm Michael, I'm not selling my place either, because apparently he bought it for 1.2 million, right? He put 300 over $300,000 into the property. So the most that he could sell it for is 1.5. He would pretty much be walking out of there with a measly $200,000 for all that he's done for it. So I think that he made the right decision by just sitting on the property for a little bit longer and then selling it maybe 2 to 3 years down the line, because I don't really see the seller's market going away anytime soon. So Tiana pretty much explains that to him in her professional opinion. And she even says, "You know what? We're going to go ahead and agree to move on with this here. I'm going to keep checking in on you, and we're going to revisit the idea a couple years down the line." That sound good? And I appreciate that as a salesperson from her, where she didn't try to push him to sell the property, because you have to analyze what's best for your client, right? Because when you do what's best for your client, they're going to do what's best for you down the line and create loyalty, which is also what we get into later on. We can see that with Robin and her client friend Carlos, which we'll get into. So in the next scene, Kiana, Crystal, and Kira sit down for drinks. Crystal says she's still trying to process what happened at the dinner with Robin. Like, she's just like, "I don't understand what happened. Like, I haven't even talked to her. She's not taking my phone call. She's blocked my phone number," whatever the case may be. And she's like, "Have you guys talked to her?" And Crystal said, and then Kiana says, "Yeah, I talked to her. I actually had dinner with her the other day. And, yeah, we've been talking." And she's like, "I'm kind of really," Crystal trying to make it seem like she wasn't upset, but you were definitely mad. You were big mad that she has not been reaching out to you. And mind you, I'm not reaching out to you because I'm triggered, right? I'm still triggered. So I'm not really ready to be talking to you right now. So then Crystal was pissed because she felt like, why is she talking to everybody else but her? Which I just think that relationship, that friendship is a little bit toxic. It seems like Robin is over the top with her anger and doesn't know how to help it. And then Crystal is just very passive aggressive. So that just doesn't work in a relationship where one friend has an overpowering personality and then the other friend you don't even know where they at with it. Like, are you my friend today or are you not? Are you going to have my back or are you not going to have my back kind of situation? And Robin really needs somebody that's going to be openly and outwardly loyal to her so that she can feel comfortable in the relationship. But I think the level of loyalty that she needs people to show, and I guess and the way in which she needs people to show their loyalty is not realistic as grown adults. Okay. So moving right along, Kira says she expected more respect from Robin when dealing with her issue with her, meaning she expected Robin to deal with the whole situation of her asking her about unfollowing her on social media. She expected Robin to handle that a lot better, which at the end of the day, I can see what Kira is saying, but at the same time, Robin is old enough and she's like at a point in her life where she's like, this shit is petty to me. Like, I don't want to be asking you, I don't want to be sitting here talking to, just like you looking at her like she old, she looking at you like you some little girl coming to her about some damn social media. That's not important to me. So by you worrying, I think both of them needed to kind of be level headed and have a realistic conversation over that. And I think that's something that could easily be solved. So Kiana tells the ladies about the misunderstanding with the $500 per contract instead of just the $500 overall. And she's like, I don't remember hearing it like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and take little Miss Robin's word, and we're gonna get along to be along, okay? So then Crystal seems like she feels some type of way. This is where she talks about how she feels some type of way that Robin and Kiana actually talked. And then she's at this point pissed because Robin hadn't been returning her phone calls. So Kiana said she also brought up the fact that Tiffany felt triggered as well. And she felt she should have taken that Crystal should have been a better friend to Robin and actually taken her out of the room, been more openly protective of Robin in that moment as her close friend. And she was just expressing that's how Tiffany felt about the situation, and that the way that Crystal handled the situation actually triggered Tiffany overall as well. And Crystal seemed bothered by Tiffany even having an opinion. She's like, first of all, don't tell me how to friend my friend. Okay. Don't do that. And secondly, me and Robin are best friends, so she don't even understand our dynamic. So I don't need her to be giving me no advice. But at the end of the day, Crystal, I think that obviously the way that you've been handling Robin doesn't work. People in friendships and any type of relationship, you have to handle people in a way that they can understand, right? When you constantly try to treat somebody how you want to treat them and not how they require treatment, that's not give and take in a relationship. Okay. So Crystal wants Robin to just kind of shove things under the rug, kind of like she does, and, put on a good face in front of people like she does. Robin is the type of person, oh, you being disrespectful, I'm gonna get disrespectful right on back with you, and I'm gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna be the highest disrespectee in this conversation. You feel me? That's what I'm gonna do. So that's just how Robin handles the situation. Now, I'm not saying that that's right how Robin handles situations, because you're a grown ass woman. You can't be going off on everybody every time somebody don't like what you're saying. That just doesn't make any sense. So Robin needs to learn how to handle herself and be more level-headed. And Crystal needs to learn not to be a flip-flopper. That's what it sounds like to me. And I think they need to have a conversation and really define their relationship, because I think Crystal thinks that they're closer than what they are, but she's not exhibiting that level of closeness in the relationship, if you ask me. So moving right along, Robin meets with Carlos. She's going over Carlos's house, which is a guy, one of her clients that she sells a lot of properties for. And she's actually upset with him because apparently he's listed his condo under another real estate agent. So she wants to go over there and have a conversation with him and kind of smooth things over and ultimately get her listing back, because she feels like, listen, I did the video for the listing for the person that's listing it right now. God damn it, I want to get my profit, my proceeds off of it, because I feel like the video was really selling the property. And if this person does sell it, I feel like I sold it anyway. So I really want to get my coins. Okay. So Robin gets there. She goes into the meeting, and his assistant comes downstairs and says, so Carlos isn't here. He's in Puerto Rico. Okay. So yeah, there won't be a meeting today. So Robin is like, hold on. Hold on. So you mean to tell me that I drove all the way over here, and he ain't here, and we had an appointment. Oh no, what we not gonna do is do this. Okay. So she was like, I'm gonna FaceTime him. So she FaceTimes him and she's like, are you kidding me? You know we had a damn appointment today. What the shit is going on here? What the hell? So he says, well, I had something to do, so I had to get on up out of there. Okay, so we not have no meeting today. So he says he will meet her and they'll talk about it. But he did, however, tell her over the phone that she needs to work on her temper, because ultimately that's what led him to give the property up to another broker or real estate agent, whatever the case may be. And she's like, this is my business. Like, I can't be playing around with you with this stuff, basically. And it's like, at this moment, I hope Robin understands that her customers or her clients are not responsible for her livelihood. She has to handle them in a professional manner. You can't handle your clients in an emotional manner, because when you get emotional with them same emotions you got that you're using, oh yeah, they got some too. So they can use it against you and decide to do what Carlos did, which is go with somebody else. Okay. So she says she'll work on her temper, and she said you need to work on your temper too, because you got a little attitude too. Okay, so don't even try to blame it on me. Okay, but whatever, we're gonna go to dinner and we're gonna talk about it. So anyway, they moving on to the next scene. Tiana and Tiffany are working out together, and Tiffany talks about her new office opening up, and she's inviting everybody but Crystal. So she decides that she's not going to invite Crystal because Crystal really is like her competition at this point, and she's not going to be somebody that's there obviously in support of her at this point, because Crystal has her own business, and we see, especially what she's going to do with Kira later on in the episode, that Crystal is all about Crystal. So she probably would have been around that damn meeting, schmoozing and perusing all of Tiffany's clients, trying to get them over to whatever her damn law firm's name is. So I wouldn't have invited her ass either. So Tiffany, that was a very smart decision that you did not do that. So she also didn't like how their last interaction was negative at the event with Robin. She feels like Crystal wasn't really being a good friend to Robin. And she said, although I met with Robin and I had a conversation with her, we really vibed on a lot of different things, but I'm not going to try to take her business. Like, I'm not going to try to poach her for her deals or whatever. I just really want to be a good support to her, because we both have challenges with, depression and mental, illness and things like that. So I definitely want to be a support to her. I just want to make it very clear that I'm not trying to steal her as a client, which I can respect Tiffany's approach with that. However, I feel like it's like a nice, nasty approach, because it's like, okay, let me play on your emotions and get you close to me, where now you feel comfortable with me. And if you make the decision to come to me, you're making it on your own. So it's pretty much like she's giving that long sale, right? She's giving that long sale attraction where it comes to Robin, right? So she's not going to take her willfully on her own. She's going to let Robin make that decision to make the switch on her own. Okay. So then Tiana says people have different backgrounds and trauma, and they all handle it differently, because, Tiffany talked about how Robin was open with her about different traumas that she's had in her life, and how people in her family have ultimately failed her. And she feels like that is kind of why her life has turned out the way it has, where she's felt like she's had to overcome a lot, but emotionally she's still scarred. And that's what makes her overall react the way that she does in certain situations. And Tiana gives another response where she's like, yeah, that doesn't make a difference. Everybody has a background. Everybody has had something traumatic happen in their life, I'm sure, at a time or two. So we can't use that as an excuse as to why we act the way that we act, right? So Tiana brings up the fact that her mom was a drug addict, and that she'd never shared that with Tiffany before, but Tiffany would have never known through their interactions that was what the case with Tiana's mom. And she says that she was raised by her dad and her stepmother, and she feels like real estate is a huge part of her life, because it's created the success to show that, even though I've come and have had to overcome all of these different obstacles with wondering why my mom chose a substance over me, I'm not going to do that basically with my children. And I'm going to create a life for my kids where they don't have to question my choices, right? And she says, her childhood trauma is basically what helped her grow beyond it, and it helped her become successful. And she's ever so grateful for her mom and her dad for taking over the lives. I mean, her stepmom and her dad for raising three children. Basically, he had to take on three kids, her brother, her set two siblings, and her, and raise them because her mother wasn't present. Okay, so that can be challenging for a child growing up, wondering why your parent, especially your mom, the person that gave you life and birthed you, doesn't want you. They've chosen that their mind has been taken over so much by a substance that they've chosen to give their life to the substance and not you. So by her sharing that, she got very emotional. And Tiffany was basically like, wow, both of these women have shared some really dark moments in their life with me. And I want to take this information and move forward with it in a positive manner and try to be the best support that I can to them. And I appreciate her saying that, because she doesn't take those things. It goes to show that she's a very genuine person, and she's not going to take these things and hold it over people's heads necessarily. She's going to do what she can to be a proper support to them and be a good friend ultimately. So in the next scene, Kira and Tiffany go to Alex Burton's house. Now let me tell you about Alex Burton. Okay, he is bomb. He is from, I don't know if y'all noticed the shirt that he had on. He's in a group called the Circle of CEOs. Okay, and there are, I believe, five very successful men in that group. Okay, another person in that group that I follow is Mr. 2 Weeks Out and his wife Mrs. 2 Weeks Out. I actually wanted them to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, they were like really coming for Mrs. 2 Weeks Out. Her name is Helani Lobdell. They were really coming for her to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta for this next season, but she was just like, no, because her husband was like, listen, they ain't about to be making up no drama on us, okay? And I understand that, because we can't be messing up good marriages, because they are the true depiction of Black love, going through obstacles, overcoming them, choosing their family first, keeping their kids together, keeping their marriage strong and tight, dealing with issues, going to therapy and dealing with it, instead of just walking out on your marriage and doing, just giving up on each other, right? They've gone through it all. And Alex is actually a very close friend of Mr. 2 Weeks Out. And I just really love seeing him flourish. I think they both started. He has a very successful trucking business, Alex does, and he teaches other people how to start a trucking business. So he's gained all of this, his fortune from doing that, being a part of Circle CEOs and helping other entrepreneurs to do well as well. So I really respect Alex and that group, and I've followed them on social media for some time. So he's a really good guy, and it's nice to see him flourishing the way that he has. So in this scene, we see his home. Kira has sold him the home. So Kira and Tiffany are going there because Tiffany was the closing attorney and Kira obviously sold him the house. So it was a brand new home. He has done a ton of renovations on it, made it it looked good in the beginning, but he put his final stamp of approval on it, and it looks absolutely amazing. So kudos to Alex. And he was saying, also, I'm going to, and I really love how Kira, she did a non-traditional closing. She had his family and friends come to the closing day when he was signing the paperwork and celebrate him, which he's an absolutely amazing personality. And that was really nice. I love seeing that scene input where everybody was there to celebrate him, and she even flew his mom in. They had food and everything. So kudos to Kira. I can see why she's doing so well, because she utilizes emotion in a positive manner for her clients, right? So then Alex says he wants to buy his mom a house and retire her. So he wanted Kira's help with that as well. And he says his mom is very important to him. He explains that he never met his father. So his mom is super duper important to him. And that's his next level of creating, that's going to be really like the top tier I've made it moment, when he can retire his mom and buy her a brand new house as well. He's already paid off the current home that she lives in, but he wants to buy her a brand new home and ultimately retire her, where she doesn't have to work another day in life. So kudos to Alex Burton, kudos to Kira for being a part of that and really networking with some really good people. That was like the highlight for me because I know his backstory and I know his friends and I know that whole group. So you guys, shout out to the Circle of CEOs. They are doing some great things in the community. In the next scene, Robin meets with Carlos, her client, for dinner, the one that stood her tail up in the last before. So he tells Robin the penthouse sold the night before, all cash, because Robin, little ornery behind, she tried to act like that penthouse was not going to sell without her. Okay, so then she tries to say, I know it probably sold because of my video. So of course she still want to take the damn credit over it. Okay, so she's upset because he gave away her listing. She feels like she was entitled to that listing. And here's one thing. I've been in sales for over 18 years of my career. You are not entitled to nobody's business. Let me say that again. You are not entitled to anybody's business. People can buy and purchase things, sell things with whoever the fuck they want to. Okay? And he chose not to utilize you for whatever reason. You must have rubbed him the wrong way, which he kind of shined a light on her BS as well in this conversation, because he was like, Robin, yes, this sold, but I'm gonna give you the rest of my business. You want to know why? Because I like you. I really like you. But what I want you to know is I know that you want to start your own. He basically gave her some insight. He said, I know you want to start your own brokerage and all that, but at the end of the day, I know you. He basically was saying it without saying it on camera, that Robin does not play well in the sand, just like Crystal said. He's like, you are pitching this business, making it all about you. You can't pitch a business and make it all about you. He's like, what you need to do is create your brokerage, build it up, make it successful so that people want to come to you. That's how you individually are going to have to do this, because at the end of the day, you do have to attract other people. You do have to hear and listen to what other people are saying. And that's the problem with Robin. She wants everybody to dance to her music. And when you are managing other people, that's just not realistic. Okay. She can't even sell the process enough to people in that one dinner that she had. Like, she got into an altercation because she don't know how to deal with other people and their emotions and how she just can't mesh well with other individuals right now. So I don't think this is really a good move for her to try to just jumpstart this business with people just walking in the door with her, because her personality isn't very attractive in that manner to other people that are obviously on her level, right? She does well with her clients, but with her peers, not so much. Okay. So I think that she should take Carlos's advice, fix her attitude, make her business successful, put tools and things out there to show people that she can actually help them. Because at the end of the day, why am I going to come and work with you when I can be successful by myself? Why am I working with you? What can you teach me? What value can you add to my business? That's what those are the questions that she needs to ultimately fulfill and answer before somebody isn't even going to do business or work with her at all. So they end the conversation with him telling her about all of the things. So basically everything that he's going to give her is going to far supersede the commission that one realtor or broker got from that penthouse that they sold. So I'm glad that she actually had this conversation with him and kind of looks to Carlos as somewhat of a mentor as well, to get herself together, fix her daggone attitude, and just keep on bossing up and getting these listings and selling, and taking it, doing well. So she's excited because she gained his business back. So in the last scene, Kira meets with Crystal at her office. And Crystal does this 5-star spread of lunch, child. She is really laying the daggone red carpet out, okay? And I feel like it was a bunch of BS, because Crystal tries to connect with Kira because she ultimately knows that Kira was in a relationship. Apparently, we learned that Crystal was for years as well. We already know about Kira's relationship that apparently just recently ended, and she's been working through getting through that. So Crystal tried to play on her heartstrings, and then ultimately at the end of all the whining and dining, she asked Kira, she's like, well, you are really killing it in a real estate game. And, you are selling so much. It wouldn't hurt for you to spread some love over here. Look here, little bitch. You trifling and you a snake because you know that she's been closing with Tiffany. So why on earth would you try to approach her like this? You didn't even ease the blow. Like, you just went right in for the kill. You like have one little lunch with her and then you're trying to go for her business. You didn't even try to, like, take your time. Like, this is not something that you just try to rush in and steal her joy. Like, I just didn't like that. I thought that was very tacky what she did. And I think that Crystal, I get it. You want to try to grow your business as well, but this is not something that you do. I think that it would have been better actually if Crystal brought up this overall notion with Tiffany at a dinner saying, hey, listen, both of us are Black women trying to rise up in this game. What if we have, what if there are clients that I can share with you, some that you can share with me that you're not business with, or new clients we can ultimately try to work on splitting the difference with, or whatever. I don't know, but don't go behind. Y'all are trying to create a friend group at this point, but I don't know. Crystal made it very clear in the beginning that she wasn't really working with Tiffany anyway. She's like, we have very different businesses, so like, you know what, I don't want to work with her, but what I will do is come after her clients. But I'm like, what if Tiffany had to ask Robin to come and do her closings with her? Would you be mad? That's what I want to know, Miss Crystal. Would you be mad if Tiffany had have approached Robin? How would you feel about that? Riddle me this, Batman. Ain't that messed up? We're gonna see how this roll out. So anyway, Kiara was like, dang, you just gonna put me on the spot like that? Okay. So then Tiffany has her grand opening of her new office, and she highlights her husband and everybody that has really supported her through her challenges with mental health and her depression and things like that. And she's just really proud that she was able to persevere and move forward and ultimately create this experience in the office. Tiffany said in a previous scene that she wanted her office to not just be a place of walking in and we're conducting business and rolling out. She wants it to be like an oasis of the finalization of the contract. Like, you gonna come in. She was like, I wanted to have like a lounge feel, so somewhat like you gonna have a drink, we're gonna have a good old time, we're gonna sign our contract and we're gonna celebrate. Okay. And I like that. Like, when you're buying a home or you're purchasing a new property or closing on a commercial property, anything like that, that's a great addition to your overall business, to your overall growth. So it's definitely a celebration. Yes, it's a new bill that you're taking on ultimately, but I'm sure that it highlights a different level of achievement in your life, right? So kudos to Tiffany for getting her office open. And she tells everybody ultimately that she did not invite Crystal after they had like a little side conversation. She's like, yes, everybody's here but Crystal for obvious reasons. And I'm unapologetic about that. So it is what it is. So Kira says, well, while we talking about Crystal, homegirl tried to come after my business. Okay. She gave me this 5-star lunch, child, and she just really came in for the kill. She asked me to do some of my listings, my closings with her. And Tiffany was like, oh, well, that's shady little. She was like, really? Wow. Like, wow. She's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about this right now. Tonight is about me, and I'm not even gonna let that bother me. But the nerve of her to try to steal my client. She really tried it. So I'm sure Miss Tiffany gonna have a whole sea of words for her the next time she see Miss Crystal. So in the last scene, Robin talks to Kiana about the text she sent Crystal, and she has not responded. So obviously Crystal was lying a little bit, because Robin says that she has reached out to Crystal and Crystal hasn't responded to her. And Robin was mad because she's like, oh, because Kiana said, well, I've talked to Crystal. And she's like, oh, so she's talking to everybody but me. Oh, okay. I see how it is. So then Robin opens up about her not being able to maintain relationships with other women. And Kiana basically says in her confessional, she's like, well, at some point, if you can't maintain relationships with other women, you got to stop looking at the other women and look at your damn self, because clearly you are the common denominator of these relationships not working. So then Robin goes into talking about, really, Crystal is not a good friend anyway, for real, because she really is only my friend because she thought I was trying to get with her man, and she just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to sleep with her man. And I'm like, wow, I thought y'all was best friends. Is this best friend until we have a disagreement? Because if you that type of best friend where once we not cool or we having a little disagreement, you want to air me out and tell all my business, you ain't my damn friend, sis. We can't be friends. I don't do people like you. Because with me, when me and my friends fall out or we ain't cool as we used to be, that doesn't mean I'm about to dog you on Mad Day and go tell all your business. That's not what I'm about to do. That's dead. So I didn't really like that Robin did that or whatever. So then she says, overall, she doesn't think Crystal knows how to be a good friend because she has a collection of friends. She has a friend for travel, a friend for this, a friend for that. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? That's what grown people do. You got to put your friends in pockets at certain points in your life, because all y'all bitches ain't loyal. Let's make it very clear. Okay? Because you talking shit right now behind her back. Catch that tea. Okay? So moving right along, Kiana says, have you ever looked at things from Crystal's perspective? Maybe Crystal is feeling some type of way about how you responded to her, because you did have your hands up, kind of blocking her and not really listening to what she was saying because you were so mad. And Robin says, if my friend was getting attacked, I would have my friend's back. She's basically like, Crystal didn't know whose side to be on, and she doesn't appreciate that. And I don't think it's necessarily that Crystal didn't know whose side to be on. I think Crystal just doesn't handle conflict well. So she felt very uncomfortable in that moment. And she is friends with the other ladies that are there. And she ultimately knows that Robin is trying to start this business and that she wants them to be a part of it. So she's trying to get them to see the good parts of Robin. Did she go about that in the right way? Hell motherfucking no, she did not. But I just think that both of them are misread in this situation, and they really do need to sit down and have a conversation and actually define their friendship at this point, because it's not looking good on either end. So moving right along, Robin talks about taking the picture with Kira, because there was a scene where Robin was like, let's take a picture, everybody. And Kira was like, she didn't want to be in the picture. So Robin took the picture of her and the other ladies. And then she was like, okay, well, I'll take a picture of you guys. You can just be in the picture with them now. And Kira was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be in the picture. I don't want to be in the picture with you. I want to be in the picture with them. I don't want to take a picture, bitch. I don't want to take a picture. So then, Robin is kind of bringing up that moment to Kiana. And Kiana's like, yeah, Kira, in her confessional, she's like, Kira is not a fake person. So she's not going to fake the funk for a little bit. She's going to be in her feelings of whatever moment it is. And that's that on that. She's not going to play like she likes you, and she doesn't. So Robin talks about the picture, and she's like, she feels like Kira rejected her. She then calls Kira into the conference room to speak to her about this situation and kind of smooth things over with her over the whole Instagram and her unfollowing her thing. So that's kind of what we're going to get into in the next episode. So I don't know, y'all. I think, Robin really needs to identify the fact that she does need to make some changes with her attitude, because it's reflected and it's shown heavily in her relationship with her clients, her relationship with her so-called friend that thinks that she's her best friend. And now it's showing in, other business relationships for her to be able to network and connect with her colleagues. So at the end of the day, you got to start doing some self-reflection and looking at yourself and be like, you know what? I'm fucking up. And that is what it is. It's okay to realize when you messing up and you really need to make a change, right? So I hope to see some growth with Robin over this season. And I really hope to see Crystal stop being like a two-faced friend, because you're looking real two-faced right now. I don't like that. So I don't know, y'all. We'll see. Let's see how this continues to roll through. Anyway, I'm Shay Renee. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my video with somebody else that watches this show too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.